Hey everybody, on this week's video, it's all about patterns. One of the biggest questions I get asked a lot is how do I draw my patterns? And there's a simple answer to that. A lot of money to go to art school. No, but in all seriousness, there is a simple solution and formula to do this for a proper floating decoy, and we're going to go through that today. Okay, step one. What is the first thing we need before we start any pattern? And my question, or I should say my answer to that, is reference. I can't stress enough how important gathering reference is on the subject that you plan to carve. I don't care if it's a basic decoy or even to decorative stuff. Reference is key to understanding that species and how to project your view or how you see that bird into the piece. Okay, so that's number one, reference. Okay, number two is projecting what you see from the reference onto paper, or for myself, I draw all my patterns on Masonite because I keep most of my patterns. So if you're not comfortable with drawing to what you see, you can take that reference, photos, whatever you gathered, and blow it up and draw on top of the photo to get what you want your carving to look like, okay? Which brings me to number three, style. Now everybody says, this decoy's better, that this style's better, It's a regional thing. From Delaware River birds, traditional Jersey birds that we carve here, all the way to contemporary competition birds. Okay, this is a debate that's going on for centuries, and to be honest, it's you should carve what you like. You should carve what you're comfortable with. When you're comfortable and having fun doing this, the end result will be a milestone. You'll see such an improvement on what you're doing, and will make it a much pleasurable experience. So when it comes to drawing your actual pattern, there's a couple ways you can do this. If you want to just draw a simple pattern, you can draw a simple pattern, but my suggestion is try to draw the duck as a duck first off. So once you draw your basic pattern, whether you're drawing on top of a photo or you're drawing it from eye onto a piece of paper and whatnot, you can, once you have the basic shape, the basic knowledge, attitude of the species that you're carving, if you want to dumb it down because you want to make it more simpler decoy, the foundation is there. Then you can start taking away parts of the actual drawing that you want. So say you don't want to carve all the wings in there, you want it smooth. You can start erasing and taking it down. But by drawing the actual bird itself, will give you a better shape, a better overall essence of species of what you want. Once you draw that, you can dumb it down as much as you want, but the shape is there. It'll keep the carving in there. Okay, next thing that I can't stress enough, and a lot of people don't understand this, is shape and form. And I shouldn't say shape and form, more the proportions of a decoy for it to float properly. And my simple method and formula for that is however high the decoy is from the water line, double that for the width. So if you have a 4-inch decoy above the water line, the width of that decoy should be 8 inches. And what this does is give the decoy a platform for it to float very stable in the water. If you have a 4-inch decoy and you made it six inches wide, you're making a very narrow decoy that will do a lot of rock and rolling in the water, you know, depending on the conditions and wind, waves, whatnot. So what you want is you want a nice steady platform, but you don't want that platform to be diminished by the height of the decoy where it's creating a pendulum effect. You want the decoy's majority of the weight of the decoy on that surface of the water. So 4 inches high, 6 inches high, whatever it is, you double that for the width. Now this goes to say all this works in perspective, whether it's flat bottom, round bottom, whatever style, traditional or contemporary that you want, these formulas still work. You just got to remember that the level, the water line, the level of that you plan to have that decoy sit is where the decoy will be the widest, and the height is the height. So again, the height, if it's 4 inches, you want it 8 inches wide. Now, give or take, it's possible that, you know, when you draw your pattern out and, you know, you use that formula, 1 to 2 formula that I just described, the decoy might look a little fat, and that's okay. You can narrow that in a lot. You can bring it in just by taking a little bit off the sides, but I wouldn't go dramatically, or if I could speak today, I wouldn't do that drastically, because the narrower you make that decoy, the more it's going to rock and roll in the water. So width is your friend to a certain extent, and the 2-to-1 ratio really is a basic platform for any decoy. Okay, and the last thing, don't settle for good enough when you're drawing your pattern. You should be drawing your pattern how you want your decoy to look. And what I mean by that is, you know, you just don't want to draw your outline and be like, okay, that's good enough, I'll go from there. The pattern is actually going to be the tool to help you carve as you go through and look at your pattern. You know, when I carve, I'll set my pattern up just to give me a visual idea of what I want my decoy to look like. So don't settle, you know, really nitpick it and fine tune that pattern and that drawing to what you really want your decoy to look like at the end. Doing this is really going to help you understand the process of how you want your decoy to be at the end when you're carving it. So, you know, the more you handle the pattern, the more you draw on the pattern, the more you fine tune it to see what your final product is going to look like, the outcome is going to be a lot better in your carving, and it really gives you an understanding as you're carving it what you're looking for, because you have already drawn it and it's already visually inside your head by nitpicking and fine-tuning the pattern itself. guys, that's all I have for today. I want to thank you for watching this video. I hope that it was helpful for all you new guys out there. If you want to see more of these videos and more of my work, please follow me on Facebook and subscribe to this page. Also, if you have suggestions for future videos, please leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching my video. On to the next bird. Always hard at work.